Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Tom Kelly. This is Clean Cut Audio. And in this week's 2-Minute Tuesday, I'm going to be talking about compression, how to make your podcast loud, and how to maintain its loudness throughout. Let's do it. This is an extremely hard video to do in under 3 or 4 minutes. In fact, it's impossible. For that reason, I'm going to offer everyone watching this video right now free access to my 75-minute masterclass on compression. I've been selling this for $29, but if you email me, hello@cleancutaudio.com, I will give you unrestricted access to this insanely long video all about compressors so you can really learn how to effectively use this insanely important tool. It is the most important tool in audio in podcast production. I've got about 6 of these things running on my session. So before we really dive into that, I wanted to let you know this is not a comprehensive view of compression, but it is more of making you aware of something that exists if you don't already know. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at my Pro Tools session here. This is my signal chain for my own podcast. All the plugins are on the side here, and I recorded this little sample. I learned a really cool shortcut to bypass all my plugins at once. Let's listen to this audio sample. Hey, I've been dying to talk to you all about the importance of dynamic range. Now, we could hear that this signal is going from very quiet to very loud. If we were in a noisy environment like listening in our car or running on the treadmill at the gym, we would probably not hear this portion of the audio here or here. This part might hurt our ears. It's too up and down. What we need is a tool that will help us get that signal somewhere in the middle and consistent throughout so that we can hear every part of it. It's never too quiet and it's never too loud. That, my friends, is the job of a compressor. Now, what does a compressor do? It is a dynamics processing plugin that essentially will bring down the loudest portions and then bring up everything else so that they meet somewhere in the middle. Let's listen to this signal before compressors and after. So this is no plugins at all. Hey, I've been dying to talk to you all about the importance of dynamic range. Now, the whole thing is going to be louder because my compressors do have makeup gain on them, but listen to how much more even this is now. Hey, I've been dying to talk to you all about the importance of dynamic range. Let's do something fun here. I'm going to create a new track, and I'm going to print this audio onto a different track so we can see the waveform. We can see the difference in these two tracks. Let's record that real quick. Hey, I've been dying to talk to you all about the importance of dynamic range. All right, so with compression and with bringing up all the signal, you bring up everything with it, including the noise, which is me breathing at the end. So let's put these tracks over each other, and what we're going to see is a before and after of before compression and after compression. What we can see here is that this quieter portion at the beginning was made louder by the makeup gain of this compressor. And then this portion here that got really loud that probably hurt your ears the first time through, it brought that signal way, way, way down. And it brought it up right here where it needed to come up, brought it up in the middle, and portions throughout here, it brought it down to where it got louder. So you can see this signal overall it's much louder on average, and it's also much more consistent. We can see that the difference between loudest and quietest is significantly smaller after compression. And that is what compression does. It raises the quiet parts, it lowers the louder parts. Now, this is all dependent on what you tell a compressor to do. We absolutely do not have time to get into everything, but I did want to show you the stock compressor in Pro Tools. It has a pretty good visual of what is going on here. These are all my compressors. It shows how important compression is. There's many different kinds. They all do things a little bit differently. This is the stock compressor in Pro Tools. So let's get this back to 3 and 4. This is the fully mixed signal that I'm going to be playing here. And we're just going to look at a couple things on this compressor. We have a threshold. This is determining what is too loud. We're saying anything that crosses this threshold of loudness needs to come down. How much it comes down by is the ratio down here. Right now, the standard is at 3:1. What this means is that for every 3 decibels that crosses this threshold, it is compressing it down to 1. So rather than getting a hit with 3 decibels, it's only hitting with 1. Now, if we look at this white line, that's basically showing the loudness before the compressor. The orange line is the threshold, and then this is volume, the loudness coming out. A ratio of 1:1 does nothing, no compression. A 3:1 is going to lower this to show that, again, if for 3 decibels that comes in, only 1's coming out. And even more intense still if we kind of bring that ratio up more, 100:1. Now for every 100 decibels, which is like uncomfortably loud at a concert, for every concert level loudness coming through this, you're only going to get 1 decibel. Now in podcasting, we're pretty much looking between 2 and 6, maybe 10 if we're looking at limiting, which is basically very hard compression. So we're determining how much it's cutting down after it crosses the threshold. Attack time is how long it takes for it to start compressing before it engages. Release time is how long after it comes back through the threshold into the quieter portion before it stops compressing. This is a lot of information that I spend 40 minutes explaining in that video. Please reach out hello@cleancutaudio.com to get a better understanding of all of these parameters. That's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to the concept of compression and why you need it. Makeup gain it's cutting off the loud portions. So now we want to bring up everything so that it's all louder, consistently loud, not portions of loud, portions of quiet, consistently loud. That's what we want. The reason we need compression so badly is that people are listening to their podcasts on the go. When they're driving, when they're washing dishes, when they are running on a treadmill, they are dealing with the noise floor around them. So things need to stay a certain level above their noise in order to clearly hear everything that they are saying. If your podcast gets too quiet, they're going to miss what they're saying. If you laugh and it's really loud, it's going to hurt their ears and they're going to tune out immediately. If you've ever been in the car and a part gets too quiet and you raise the volume to hear it, then they laugh and it gets too loud, it blasts your ears. That's a really bad experience, and that's not a good way to gain listeners. So what we're going to do, we're going to use a compressor. We're going to learn a hell of a lot more about compressors in that 70-minute video. And we're going to make sure that our listeners have the most pleasant experience possible when listening to their podcast. So what did we learn in a very brief amount of time? Dynamic range is the difference between the loudest and the quietest portions of your audio. A compressor is going to make that dynamic range smaller and all consistently louder on average so that the listener isn't losing the quiet parts and having their ears blasted out with the loudest parts. Those are the basics. This is, again, not a comprehensive crash course on compression. You can find that video by emailing me, hello@cleancutaudio.com. Get a free video, a very long deep dive that I spent 50 hours creating because it'll really give you everything that you need to know about compression for your podcast, which is the most important thing you can do. You can even hear right there, I kind of got quieter. I have like 5 different stages of compression on this audio signal right now to make sure that that portion, when I got quieter, it's actually bringing that up so you don't perceive it as quieter. But me in this room, I actually did get significantly quieter. And this portion, when I get really loud, isn't really as loud to you because that compressor is bringing it down so that it's all hitting a nice kind of average right in the middle there. Please, 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 please learn how to properly use a compressor. You can definitely do more damage than good if you don't use it properly. So make sure to get that video from me. Be happy to send that link to anyone who asks for it. Compression is very important. It is the most important. There are a lot of resources out there for how to use it, but I don't think any are as comprehensive as the super long, in-depth video that I created with many different listening exercises. We're going to hear the difference between the same signal going through different thresholds, different ratios, different attack times, different release times, blind listening experiments where you don't see anything, you're just listening, and we can kind of find that sweet spot together on what works. And if you want to learn a whole lot more about it, you can reach out to me again at that same email, hello@cleancutaudio.com. I do offer audio coaching and consulting calls. If you want to have an hour with me on the phone or on Skype, we can kind of, dig through some stuff together. If you're looking for some one-on-one, maybe we get some groups together in the future, but that's what I'm offering for right now. Check out the t-shirts in the description, cleancutaudio.com/shop. And please, please, please make sure to tell a friend about this channel. Audio for podcasting is crazy important. All of our podcasts need to sound better, mine included. I'm never happy with the sound of any of my videos or podcasts. I'm going to listen to this video in a week and think it sounds terrible because I am always chasing perfection. It is my art. It is my craft. It's what I love, trying to accomplish the best audio sound possible. I always feel like I'm miles away from it, but man, trying to nail it is so much fun. So let's try to make some perfect audio together. I'll see you all next week. These videos are getting longer and longer, and I'm so sorry. But we're going to have to rebrand whatever Minute Wednesday. Who cares? You can't teach audio in 2 minutes, so I'm not going to really try to. Thank you so much for sticking around. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you never miss a video. Just had a pretty good giveaway that was put out. I'll put a link in the description. That's going to run until the middle of January, probably January 15th. And then we're going to be giving away some microphones, coaching calls, and t-shirts. So check that out if you haven't already. And I will see you all next time. Thanks so much. Bye.